Welcome back everyone, it has been a while. Now since the last time you saw me, we have actually revealed the release date of our game, Misc, A Tiny Tale. And for those of you who may have missed it, it is coming out this month, July 22nd, which as of the release of this video is not very far away. And honestly, it has been just such a big and wild journey getting here. I cannot believe that we are so close to release. It is such a nervous time for me. But at the same time, I'm so excited to actually get the game in people's hands, be able to hear first impressions, first thoughts, and just be able to see what people think. Now for those of you who don't know, I am the lead developer of Misc, A Tiny Tale, a 3D adventure game where you play as a 3 cm tall robot made of miscellaneous items. It's your job to help the people around you by cleaning up trash, collecting cogs, and doing what you can to make a difference. The game is inspired by many early 2000s games that we grew up with, and I think it's going to be a really special experience. Now we recently got to borrow a Nintendo Switch 2 system from a friend, so thank you very much to that friend who lent it to us for a few days. It was so special because obviously we have the game releasing on both PC and Nintendo Switch, but Nintendo does not currently give out the development kit to indie developers. For ourselves, it has been a real interesting challenge approaching that because obviously the Switch 2 is backwards compatible with all Switch 1 games. But we weren't really sure how our game was going to run. You know, before the Switch came out, before it even got announced, we had a theory that hopefully the games played on a Switch 2 will basically automatically make it run better in some way. But in order for this to happen and for it to work well, it had to be set up in a particular way that gave it the possibility to run better. So if you've been following some of the news sites around Nintendo, you might have seen that some games on Switch actually run better on Switch 2, and that really depends on if the developers have unlocked their frame rates or unlocked their resolution. And so this was actually something that we did very early on, not just for performance, for things running better on Nintendo Switch, but we also really wanted to experiment and kind of make this game future-proof. So if our theory was right with Switch 2 when that eventually released, it might actually run better there too. And very thankfully, we were correct with this theory. When I got to borrow this Nintendo Switch 2, I booted the game up and was blown away by how well it ran, you know, how high resolution it looked in handheld mode. This was really something that was crazy because handheld mode is really where the game has always struggled on the original system. It still runs well, you know, it's always around 30 frames per second, sometimes can be higher. But with Switch 2, the resolution is just so much better. It is much closer to 1080p. It is absolutely like 60 frames per second at all times, which is so lovely to see. And it was kind of crazy because obviously I have played this game so much on my PC. It has ran in 4K at beyond 60 frames per second, but for some reason it just feels better on the Switch too, especially in handheld mode. You know, seeing this in the palm of your hands on such a relatively small console, playing at that resolution, playing at that frame rate, it's just so magical. And you know, this game has been such a dream come true, having it be on a Nintendo system in the first place, so seeing it run this well has been so special. But like I said, you know, we have worked so hard over these last few years to get this game on the Switch, but also running really well on the Switch. We've basically done so much from the ground up to keep the Switch in mind, so then it would run well. It would be a very nice, stable, playable version of the game. So regardless of what platform you're playing on, PC, Switch, or Switch 2, I think you're all going to have a really great experience with the game, and I cannot wait to get it to you. Now, like I said, we actually have a release date now, which is July 22nd. I cannot believe we are so close to launch. You know, for me, it is such a strange feeling getting to this point, working on this game for over 5 years. It has obviously been such a big part of my life. You know, day to day, I have been working on this game. I have been thinking about it, whether I'm at work or not. And it's kind of crazy that that journey is sort of coming to an end. And so for myself personally, you know, this is going to be quite a big adjustment, kind of having this journey and getting back into regular normal day life. And beyond that, of course, finally releasing this game and letting it be out there in the world, letting people play it and enjoy it, and maybe even see some of the flaws in it as well, but hopefully also really enjoy and connect with the good parts of the game too. I think if you're not a developer yourself, you don't really understand how vulnerable it is to put your work out there to, you know, possibly an audience of thousands of millions of people potentially looking at your game and playing it and experiencing it. But I also can't wait to see what people think, because I think we've really made something unique and special and hopefully really has a good message and connects with people's lives. So we started this game back in early 2020. This was just as COVID was starting. Obviously we did not plan for that. That was just something that kind of happened around the same time. But it was kind of crazy because obviously we were seeing so much of the games and sort of entertainment industry change things. You know, this was a time where people were playing Animal Crossing on the Switch, and it was very much a sort of escape from reality by having video games be something that people can look forward to and kind of escape to. And well before this, when I was thinking of the initial ideas of the game, you know, I really wanted to base it off of my life and my personal experiences and really come from a place that was more than just a 3D platformer, more than just something that is focused on gameplay, but something that's really more focused on story as well. Because to me, it really did have to have a true heart to the game. It had to have a genuine experience, something that people could really relate to and understand and feel. And so when you guys eventually play the game, I hope that you will feel that. I hope you will connect to that and see that. And I really do think that it's going to be something special. Now, in the last few weeks, we actually sent out review copies to press and video reviewers and all of those types of people, and it's just so crazy that we're actually able to do that at this point. And you know, to be able to send the full game to these people and have them play it is just so mind-blowing. It's a very, very nervous thing to go through for sure, you know, but one of the best things that's happened so far is just hearing that early feedback from some of these reviewers where they've come back and said, you know, this game is really special, this game has made me cry, or, you know, it's something that is really already resonating and connecting to people. And, you know, that is something that has been my ultimate goal with the game, has been something that I've really wanted to build since day one. So to be at that point where even before reviews have actually come out, we have actually gotten that kind of response has just absolutely warmed my heart. And so thank you, and thank the whole community to sticking with me through this whole crazy journey. You know, we are not done yet, but we are nearly at the end of all of this, and I am sure well after launch we will still be here, still hopefully making amazing games and experiences to bring to you guys. And just thank you to everyone in the community who has been here since day one. It's crazy how much these types of things can really change your life, and I'm just so happy that we're able to make this a possibility. So again, the game does come out on July 22nd, 2025. That is very, very soon. So let me know, what console are you going to pick it up on? Are you getting this game day one? And please spread the word, tell your friends, post it on Twitter, do whatever you can to get this game out there. We really want to make this a success. We really want to make this game something special to so many different people. So if we can have your help, that will go a very long way. So thank you guys again, and I will see you on launch day. Bye.
The road that we've been on has shown us the strength we own. Like
embrace the joy of making a difference in this unforgettable adventure.
we can fly.
Misc, a tiny tale.